What is up? It's Dakota Layden here from Destination Fear, and you are listening to the Paranormal Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Hey there, fellow zoners. You are in the Paranormal Zone, your weekly dose of all things, you guessed it, paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Koffenberg. I don't know why I emphasized the is part right there, but I am joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, the ecstatic to have his Yeti back, Mike Carbno. Yay! And no, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the big 8-foot tall hairy Yeti. I'm talking about your little glistening microphone that's shining in front of you right now.
My glistening microphone.
Yes, yeah, you were going to say something terrible right there.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, I'm ecstatic.
Nice.
I am because I didn't know if it was just a cord or not. If it would have been the whole mic, then I would have been screwed.
Yes,
But,
especially
yes,
since
just-
the 2 weeks ago we were able to make do with like your earbud
just earbuds.
mics. Yeah, but then all of a sudden that didn't work last week, and so
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that.
we had to push off the recording. Yeah, we apologize, man. We've been very inconsistent, it seems like, but
Yes, we have for a while.
yeah, we're going to get back on track here. We're going to get back on track. Technical difficulties and all that good stuff, but we're here. This is, what is this? Wednesday. Oh my gosh, it's Wednesday already. Wednesday, December 14th. Christmas is approaching ever so quickly. Oh gosh.
The weather for it has approached already. I mean, we got the last I heard was 13 inches of snow here.
Yeah, you guys got blasted, and we got not nearly as much as you guys, but a lot of wet, thick, obnoxious snow.
Yeah, and we're supposed to get more tonight, I believe I heard.
And Mike, unfortunately, cannot do a damn thing about it because of your flipping back. So that just adds to your frustration. It's like, oh my gosh. You were saying that it looked like a winter wonderland at your house.
It was not, a winter horror land. we lost a great big branch off of one of our huge pine trees out in the back. It was so loaded with snow, it came down.
Yeah, our little road here getting to the house, it's interesting because coming home from work, I was running into a bunch of branches from, the dangling branches that usually I do not run into because they are just weighed down with the snow. And okay, as much as it sucks, it is really pretty looking. I mean, I think it looks cool. But man alive, do I hate shoveling. Shoveling and snow blowing. Woohoo! But
we were trying to hang on to that last night. Well, sitting on the couch looking out the window, it's like, it is pretty though. But yeah, we do have somebody that will be getting rid of the snow by where we park our cars in our yard during storms like this. Otherwise, I'll get a ticket from the city.
Oh my gosh!
Which I've done before. That happen. Move your car. Yeah, well, whatever. So we're good, and then
you're good.
Yeah. So
well, you know what else is good? The fact that we're back. We're back recording back to our midweek schedule here, and we're going to stick to it as best as we can. Some things you just can't avoid. We were going to do the true crime episode 2 weeks ago, and that's before all this, basically the shit hit the fan in many, many different ways. We are going to get to that one. We have a good one lined up. but we had to push it aside again
Yeah.
because
Wah. There's a lot of disappointed people right now.
I know. God dang it. Don't worry. It is coming. Mike, should we just promise right now on air that the next
We can
episode-
promise all we want.
Well, we want to keep our promises.
And
That's
we will
the thing.
keep our promise, yes.
Okay, we as in Michael and myself, we promise. Mike, say you promise.
I promise.
Okay, there you go. Mike and myself promise we will get back to our true crime episodes next week, and it will be a good one. But Mike, something really interesting happened to me. Well, and you. Yeah, I lost my first baby tooth. No, I'm kidding. Something really, really, really intriguing and interesting occurred, which not only led to a lot of discussion and a lot of moments where my mind was blown, and I think Mike's mind was almost blown. But
It was
you were
definitely tweaked a bit.
Yeah, you were mid-blown.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
And then the phone rang. God dang it.
I'm sorry. God, that did sound really awful, didn't it? Get your head out of the gutter, Mike. God dang it.
Jeez, criminy.
Whatever. Got a sick co-host with the ghost here, I tell you. No, just off of a random re-listen to a damn near 16-year-old digital recording.
Yeah, it's damn near vintage.
It's darn near vintage. Yeah, we could sell it on eBay as an antique.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work, but we'll try and figure something out.
That wouldn't
Anyways,
sell.
we were, or I was just going through our Patreon content, and I was like, I just feel bad that we haven't been as consistent with our Patreon episodes. And we did say a few weeks ago that we were going to put the Patreon episodes on temporary hiatus. We're not done with them. They are coming, and we're adding more and more cool stuff to the Patreon page all the time when we can. And I was looking for stuff, looking through the Patreon content, and I was like, I'm just going to take a re-listen to this 2007 recording from Mike's, well, let's just say it, haunted flippin' house that you lived in.
Yeah, it was definitely haunted.
When you lived here in Park Rapids. You lived there for how many years? Do you remember how many years you lived there?
It had to have been about 5 years there,
Okay.
about-ish.
At that house you're talking about.
Yeah, at that house.
Yeah, and how long were you in Park Rapids total? Do you remember that?
Just about 8 years, I believe.
Gotcha. So I was re-listening to that, and as longtime listeners know, ding, ding, ding. Hey, there it is. Mike had his bell on hand. Woohoo! He was prepped and ready to go. Ah, Mike, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Re-listening to that, and as longtime listeners know, that's where we got our just, I'm going to say it, incredible It's Debbie EVP.
Yes.
Which relates to the tragic story that happened on that property.
Yes.
Many, many years before you lived
documented
there.
and well-known story.
And while listening to this is an 18.5-minute clip. I was astonished because right off the bat, literally right off the bat, maybe 2 seconds into it, I noticed something I had never noticed before. I listened to it again. And I listened to it again. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Listened to it again. Couldn't explain it. I was getting more and more excited, basically. I was like, this is wacky, weird, wild stuff. I don't know how many times I listened to it. Long story short, we captured another damn EVP off of that recording, Mike. That makes 5 at minimum from that 18-minute clip.
Yeah.
And this one is, well, it's important to both of us because it, in our minds, it validates another potential EVP that we had captured that was it's grown infamous amongst our listeners and us. Controversial. That, yes, I'm talking about the press play EVP. Another phrase longtime listeners recognize. This EVP anomaly, whatever you want to call it, audio anomaly, absolutely validates that press play EVP for me, and I believe you, Mike.
Yeah, and I was more validated for that original press play before even I heard that, but the event that happened right after we captured that press play EVP, it was unfortunately thrown out the window right away just by the words of one person and
Who shall go nameless?
Words.
Yeah, right.
two words, and Patrick's done for 16 years until now, when he has finally been validated by, not just by in the back of his mind knowing that it wasn't him, but he's been validized.
Hey, a new word.
He has had a validation
that
it is real by and from the spirits themselves.
Oh man, when you put it that way, I feel bad about it. It's like, yeah, I mean, as we've gone back and forth over the years, and especially in this last few days, via text messages and stuff, I believe I even said to you, it's like, I've always known that it wasn't me. I just always had this. I just did. But just that little eensy beensy bit of doubt, and I, when in doubt, throw it out. And this voice, Mike, it was a voice.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely matches the sound of the press play, the sound, the tone, and the mocking nature.
Yeah.
And this damn EVP, there is no question that it is not me.
Right.
You hear me talking at the beginning of this clip. I start out by saying, watch that video. Mike and I are talking about some paranormal stuff. I say, watch that video. Mike starts talking. Immediately at the very end, when I say watch that video, you hear in that mocking tone, watch that. Just like on the press play audio clip, when Mike was struggling with the digital, and no, not this one. Not his weird ass stomach sound or wherever the hell he claimed that he thought that was. Wasn't that?
I still think it was a demon
coming from the bowels
in my belly.
Yeah, your literal bowels. It was coming from.
Yeah.
When Mike was fiddling with the recorder, and I just casually say press play, and then you hear that really mocking press play voice captured. Well, these two match damn near identically, and it was.
Yep.
It blew me away, Mike. It really did.
It did.
How did you, I mean, you and I are both in agreement that this was definitely a mocking tone. It was similar, if not the exact same anomaly. I don't know what else to call it. Audio anomaly, energy, spirit. If this thing was twice captured in that same mocking, and not even really in a playful mocking tone, like a making fun of you type mocking tone.
Yeah, it was kind of malicious.
Yeah,
I would say.
That word popped in my head too.
It was like playing off of your sensitivity.
Ooh, that's an interesting way of looking at it.
Maybe it was trying to get more emotion out of you, playing on your sensitivity, so it could suck more energy out of you. It was getting that energy built up in you.
Oh. Shit, that's another good idea.
Mm.
Have you been pondering on that, or did that just
no?
Pop
It just popped into my head.
I like that. I like that idea.
I told you we were going to discuss it.
I know. Before we move on here, we're not done talking about this. I want to say this does relate to our topic. We're talking about portals to the paranormal. Now, some may find these, the potential reality of portals as being just a bunch of hullabaloo, a bunch of hooey. Again, we're open to whatever. We're open to anything, basically, as long as it's not totally outrageous. But Mike and I have thought, you particularly, you thought that your house or the land that house was on may have maybe contained a portal of some sort. Please explain that to our listeners and me right now.
Well, I think, there's so many different things that were going on there. We knew about Debbie being there, and that makes a lot of sense. We couldn't really figure out why we would have seen an older man in the house or heard the coughing of like somebody really sick, like it sounded like a man as well, that could be heard out in the kitchen.
And this was this was you and your mate at the time. This
exactly.
This isn't you and me.
Yeah, and then plus a lady, which is, I heard whispering one morning in my ear when I was home alone. So there's a lady, a man, the child being shown by the fingerprints on the mirror. We knew there was a child there that went along with the story. There's just a lot going on there for it to be, just a haunting. I think there's just too many different things that were happening and going on.
Yeah, and totally different in nature. Nothing really, nothing ever really seemed to be like repetitive or
real consistent. The same thing.
All very unique and very, very interesting. That's those fingerprints that popped up on the mirror. That's another thing that just kind of blows me away. Those literally appeared right before us. It's like,
and I was going to check that out months ago to see if those fingerprints are still on there, because that mirror has been down in the basement since.
Are you kidding?
I moved here. Don't you remember me telling you that? I said I got to check that mirror. I wonder if they're still there.
You never told me that. Well, maybe you did. I just forgot.
Yeah, I did online.
Oh, well, online. That's why I don't.
Somebody that might have been listening during the time might remember.
Well, there you go. Okay, I got you.
I don't know. Sometimes I think we're probably just background noise for people cleaning their houses or something.
I think so too. But that's fine. That's okay. As long as we're being played.
Yeah, but I want us to be enjoyed. Come on, people, enjoy me.
I was going to say, let us know. Please let us know if you enjoy Mike.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
get nice little direct messages once in a while from awesome people, interaction with great people. But do they really like me? I don't know. And I'm not even as sensitive as you are.
No, not
and
even.
I'm pretty darn
close.
sensitive.
Yep. I'm picturing Mike like doing the Sally Fields Oscar acceptance speech, Yeah. It's like, you like me, you really like me.
You like me.
Mike just sitting there blushing and holding his arms together. Oh, I'm Mike.
And then I start bawling.
You do.
Yeah.
You don't have an Oscar.
That's
though.
okay.
Yeah. So
I have a cousin named Oscar.
That's not the same.
No, not the same thing. He's much bigger than the little statue. Anyway.
Well, I hope he would be much bigger than the statue.
We've got a wee bit of tiny people on my side of the family. They're about 8 inches tall in gold. Yeah, that's why they keep my gold. Anyway.
Lord. Oh,
I make them into little tiny figures.
That vision just made me laugh right there, so I apologize. I had to move away from that.
Anyway.
Oh, by the way, Mike has a new addition to the family. Not only does he have one giant dog, now he has 2 giant dogs in his house. So
and one's more giant than the other.
Yeah, exactly.
The newest one is the giant, the gentle giant.
Yeah,
Pyrenees. I think she was barking quite a bit when we first were doing like sound checks and stuff, but I think she's going to be quiet. She's a very good listener. She's very large, very hairy, great Pyrenees.
Very nice.
Purebred.
Very nice. Yeah.
Beautiful dog.
Yeah.
Beautiful dog.
You sent me that picture, like 2 weeks ago or something, a week and a half ago. And I was like, holy shit, is that a Pyrenees? Those things are massive. But
it was kind of an emergency rescue. She needed a home like immediately.
Yeah.
And there's just no way that we could let this beautiful girl go.
And
she is like an angel.
And her
she
name
looks
is
at you with
again?
her eyes. Mishka.
Mishka. Yeah.
Mishka. It stands for bear or little bear in Russian.
Yeah, I'd say it qualifies as a little bear. Man.
Yeah. So, but awesome dog, pure love, pure affection. Another dog that thinks she's a lap dog, which doesn't work, but she makes it work.
Oh, I know. I totally understand that. Trust me. Vigo, our golden retriever here, he still thinks he's a puppy. He wants to just be on me at all times. I was like, you can't fit on me on this chair.
And that's and the personalities of a golden retriever. I mean, you are going to get that pure love.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Pure love. That's them.
So okay, so
anyway.
the portals in or the belief in that, like maybe your house contained a portal, or the house itself was a portal, or the land itself is some sort of portal. Going back to all the occurrences that happened in the house, how unique they were, how they varied in nature and stuff, and that kind of led you to believe that there was different entities, energies, spirits kind of coming in and out, maybe, you know, through your house. You think that they were there all the time, or does that void the definition of a portal, you know, because they're not stuck there. They're actually coming in and out. You get what I'm saying? Or how did you feel?
I do. Well, I do, like, especially with the old man that was seen with wearing like the red flannel jacket and the cap, just went from the back door that goes down into the basement where we were when we got the It's Debbie EVP, and then it went from there into the bathroom, and that was only seen that one time. Was he somebody there that only showed it that one time, or was he there and then left again? You know, it's hard to say.
It blows my mind, though. It absolutely blows my mind if like portals are legit, you know, like portals to the paranormal.
Oh, I totally believe they are.
Yeah.
I mean, and a portal can be anywhere. I mean, it's like just where that veil is thin. I mean, it could be, you know, in your toilet bowl, as far as that goes. Who knows why? But
right, exactly.
You know,
yeah, well,
I can only fit my head out. I can't come in any further. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry about that. Now explain. That would explain a lot of plumbing issues, right?
Yeah.
So it.
I'm sorry. It's not poop. It's a
portal.
Ghost. It's a ghost trying to work its way through your porthole.
God dang it! That explains a lot.
But yeah, just a small rip in the barrier that's between here and there, or could it be like like the hole down in the basement, like that went underneath the front porch that we do have a picture of you somewhere coming through that.
You do,
it's like
yeah.
Patrick coming through the big cement block portal. With that smile on your face.
So how high?
It was so funny.
How high off the ground was I at that time? Do you think if I would have fallen,
geez.
I probably would have hurt myself?
You probably would have broken a clavicle or something. I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I've done that before, so hey, I'm used to that. But yeah, that night I just have this giant grin on my face, and I think I have my long hair dangling in front of my eyeballs. So yeah,
there was long hair there. I think. Yeah. But yeah, you had a good time in that.
I did.
Dirty, messy portal.
I did.
Or that hole in there.
I felt
cozy.
All
dirt and everything, and
I felt right at home.
That's why I wanted to get into the Sally house basement, because you know that hole, that they have a hole just like that there that goes into that crawl space where Zach Bagans was kind of having oh my God, there's demons all in here.
He was having a fit. Yeah, he had another one of his Zach moments. But
yeah, don't get me talking about Zach lately. I've been having a little bit of a disenchantment about Zach. It's been kind of bothering me.
Oh, really? Yeah. Really? Do you care to elaborate? Or
the more I watch, the more I kind of get irritated by it. I hate to do that.
Are you talking about the new? Are you talking about the new season, or are you rewatching?
Oh, just everything.
Yeah.
You know, when I think, you know, this again might sound harsh, but I think when he figured out that, demons, there's a lot of money in that. There's a lot of views from demons running all through me. I punch a wall once in a while.
I gotcha. I know.
Everything's a demon. You know, and it's not because I have a hard time with demons to begin with. I mean, it's like,
well, but you do.
Yeah, I know, I do, but it's not because of that. It's just that total consistent. Is there a demon here? And then before the episode's over, he's possessed.
Yeah. He yells at Aaron, and tells the cameraman to back off, and leave me alone, and maybe his shirt will come off and all that good stuff. But
the tats start coming into view,
bulging a bit. Yeah,
beastly,
bulging man. And again, hey, we're fans though, Mike. We have
absolutely. I will always be a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. But I get it. Hey, everyone has a right to their opinions. We love supporting Ghost Adventures. We love supporting Zach by watching the show, and
it's the number one ghost hunting show anywhere.
Yeah, it is by far.
It's got to be. I mean,
it's
by far.
It's damn near.
And that's not even me looking at any statistics or anything. You just know it.
Yeah, it's damn near a sensation, I would say.
So, absolutely. Well, like Ghost Hunters, when they first came out, and just number one.
Yep, they skyrocketed. Yep, those first few seasons of Ghost Hunters are still my favorite, man. They were just...
love it.
That was such a blast to watch that stuff. And I remember legitimately, as dumb as this sounds, being creeped out by an episode or two. Because I was living alone living alone at the time, and this was on. I'd watch this right before I went to bed, and of course, I one or two episodes would be like, I don't want to turn out the lights.
Yeah.
That sounds stupid, but just being honest. We're honest here at the Paranormal Zone.
Yes, we are.
But okay, regardless of Zach and his aptness, his ability to
Pension. He has a pension.
A pension, yeah.
For becoming possessed.
Very good, very good, very well said. He is apt to become possessed. There you go. Aside from that, we love the show. Hey,
absolutely.
They could be future guests, Mike.
Oh, yeah. No, the word is in there. Just see where it goes.
We're never ever going to talk down about those guys because.
No, I'm not talking down with them. I just bought them.
You kind of said you're getting annoyed as hell by them, so
a little disenchanted.
There you go. That's okay.
Hey, and if you can enjoy something and not be enchanted at all, then you're doing okay.
No, that very, very true. Very, very true. But I get you. I get you though. It's like, not everything's a demon. Not everything's demonic, and it's just. But I think it helps with the ratings too. So anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the portals, man. We're back to almost damn near Nonsense Cast radio style rambling here today. It's pretty good.
I know. I've got other things I've been quite getting passionate about thinking about, but we'll save that for another day.
Oh, nice.
I've been really perusing over my mind the whole God and alien theory. Boy, you should hear where I gone with that.
Holy crapola.
Anyway, but yeah, we can save that for another episode. But if we do another God episode or alien/God, we gotta title it right so it's not like making it sound like we believe that God is an alien and that's just the way it is.
Well, I know why you brought this up to me before. When we did that though, I said I titled the episode "God is an alien?" ? Question mark.
That's right.
So that's I didn't get why that was. I didn't think we were suggesting that's what we believed. I was like,
no. I just want to make sure that especially when it comes to that. That borderline of politics and religion speak,
right. Right. It can be a sensitive topic. There's no doubt about
Absolutely.
that. Absolutely. Before I forget, by the way, these EVPs that I'm talking about, this new one and a couple of them that we got at the Sally House, which are pretty darn wacky and cool at the same time.
Yeah,
We have two of them that we picked up from the Sally House. We believe that they are EVPs. We've gone over these back and forth, and it's like that is neither you or I. And we were the only ones there. But this latest EVP capture is on our Patreon page right now. Go listen to it. And then go find the press play EVP, which is also there, and compare and contrast, and you'll say, holy crap, that is the same flippin' voice. Now, getting back to where we started a hell of a long time ago, and you kind of answer this already. And you're like, maybe it was trying to dig into my sensitivity to feed off of me even more. Maybe it wanted to speak up anymore.
He's kind of filling the candy bag that he's dipping into.
Yeah. So I know it's hard to look back for 16 years or so, 17, damn near 17 years. I know it's hard to look back and try to, and to remember how you were feeling because you can't do it. But when you're re-listening to it now, Mike, when you're re-listening to these things, and again, you kind of threw out the word malicious and stuff. If this is a portal in your house, was a portal going on, what vibe do you get out of this energy, this entity? Do you feel like it's a younger spirit, a younger, how do I want to describe it? I'm just going to keep saying energies. It's obviously intelligent because it's responding. It's
absolutely intelligent.
Trying to get our attention, my attention perhaps.
When it can throw back at you exactly what you said.
So
especially putting the thought of having it be mocking. I mean, that's pure intelligent.
Right. So do you get pure and simple, do you get a negative feeling from this or just something that was having fun?
I didn't get any kind of a negative feeling from it. In fact, living in that house that whole time and experiencing as much as I did, I never had a negative feeling there. I mean, I could walk from my bedroom all the way to the bathroom in the middle of the night with the lights off. And that was a long haul. I mean, one end of the house to the other.
I remember that.
I didn't feel anything like, ooh, I should be looking over my shoulder or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that could be the same night that I had orbs zipping up and down my arm and off up into the air, or hearing the three loud bangs on the ceiling or the walls. It was always in threes, bang, 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 anywhere from knocking 3 times to just huge bangs 3 times, and that would freak you out.
And I keep getting
a
this.
bit.
I keep getting this mixed up. Was it you who saw a mist, or was it your ex-significant other who saw the mist?
That was her. I was sitting in the living room in the corner by those windows, and when we had the couch there, and there was what appeared to be a black shadow of an arm coming out of the ceiling right above me.
That's right. Okay.
And coming down, and it stopped at full arm, I guess, and then went back up into the ceiling.
Now that's kind of damn terrifying, if you ask me.
Yeah, but you remember what I told you before? What happened when I lived in Maine in the old barn that was converted into apartments?
Oh, good Lord!
The black shadow there. I didn't see it. Again, I didn't see it, but the person I was with at the time there, she said she was awake, and she looked and she saw this face come out of the ceiling.
Yes, I remember
up
now.
By the ceiling in the wall, came out, and she said it was looking at me. This face that had red eyes.
Good Lord!
And then it, went back into the wall. I mean, like I said, I didn't see him. Did they see it? Did they think they saw something? I don't know. But
do you trust that person? Or did you?
No. Well, I did, and I didn't think of any reason that something would have been said about it if it wasn't real. Especially that first one, because there wasn't any kind of a haunting thing going on. Mm-hmm. I wasn't, talking about ghosts all the time like I do now or anything like that. So this was kind of like a random thing that happened, this face coming out. And to have that person say that, it just was not consistent the way things were at that time.
I gotcha. Sure.
But with the arm coming down, there's so much going on that, was that just another thing that happened? Was it something that they thought they saw? I can't say because I didn't witness it, but
right.
It was gone before I could look up and see the arm, I guess. So,
and Mike, when I bring these up, I bring this up good naturedly too. But I know you regret it, and by pure accident, no one knows how it happened. But you had also captured
idiocy.
No. You had captured one of the coolest flipping things I have ever heard. Remember, I think I only got to listen to it like once because you brought it to work, I think.
Yeah.
But at the same house, and you had a recorder going on the steps going down to the basement.
Yeah.
And you got those flipping footsteps coming both down and up, like as if they were running past the recorder. I mean, that was unbelievable. It was obviously heavy human footsteps. It wasn't an animal.
And nobody there.
Nobody there. And now, I'm sure we've talked about this before. But like in the It's Debbie clip, you guys are you're pointing out to me and other folks there. Well, the other gal. That's, this door is always open, and then of course the casual conversation ensues, and then when we're walking away, you hear the clear as day, It's Debbie, EVP. I'm sure we talk about this. You think it was Debbie running up and down those steps?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would say so.
Do you think that Debbie was trapped there, Mike, for lack of a better term? Trapped is a tough word.
Well, she could have, if she,
or she's simply existing in another realm right now, and dare I say happy as can be. I don't know.
It's hard to say. I think it's more than, there's probably a mixture of actual haunting and residual. So that maybe could have been a residual, but I am more thinking that if there's a portal there, it would have been in that area where we were getting all that information, like that goes down to the basement or goes, into that other room there.
That's a good point. A lot of that stuff, almost all the crap that we picked up on audio was in that same general location.
Absolutely. And that, in that 16 minutes, it was all right there, like the music that we'd hear playing or the singing or whatever. Well, would kind of be in that area as well, like between the bathroom, laundry room, and that door. You saw that the ghost of that man was there that went into the bathroom. That's right by that door. The person coughing was out there in the kitchen. There's a lot of that stuff in that area.
We're going to dive into the some ideas of what portals may or may not be, some theories about them here. Just off top of your head, like you said, you saw the ghost of the old man. Do you think it was legit a ghost, or you think it was like there's like a time slip going on there type thing as well? Maybe
another good question, but I think it was a residual of something.
Okay.
Unless it's something that came from the portal. I mean, something comes from a portal, it's most likely not going to be a residual. I would imagine.
Again, this isn't purely shameless self-promotion, though it is, but it's not purely. It's not 110%. Right. We encourage you guys to check out the Patreon content. We got tons of our own personal, we'll say it, paranormal captures, audio and video and stuff going on the Patreon page. We'd love to see you guys there. You can give it a shot for as little as $1 a month. I think you'd enjoy it. Go check out these EVPs and compare and contrast. Because quite frankly, Mike, it moved me. This one that I got, that I found, I was like, first off, how the F did we never hear this before?
Yeah, that's what blows me away, is that there's so much there, and as closely as we were both listening to it.
As closely as we were listening to it, the only thing I can think of is that we were, after the It's Debbie clip was discovered, and, we knew we had it on recordings, that we were, me personally maybe, and probably you were always so excited to get to the part where the It's Debbie voice was picked up that maybe we just never paid attention to the first 2 seconds of the damn clip, because that's where this was captured.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like it had that metallic tinny sound to it, which is really, that's intriguing to me as well. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Even though a veil is thin, there's something there that's distorting.
God, that's a great way of putting it. Absolutely.
I think there's still a something there that it's coming through. And I think that goes together with it.
It's like a filtered version almost,
Right. Yeah.
It's not quite pure, but it's coming through a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way of putting it.
Maybe that's why, like this was in the bedroom though, but when I heard that whispering, and I've heard it before in other places, but it is so soft that you can't quite make it out, but it's there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people have this with voices, and it's like you just can't make it out enough to understand what it's saying. Maybe that's being spoken through a veil. That's all that can come through the veil at that time. It's not open quite enough. It can be there on the other side of that veil, like whispering in your ear, but that's the only only way you're going to hear it, because it's still coming through that filter.
Yeah. Sometimes you and I sound kind of smart every now and then.
Well, I think I just sounded kind of rambling.
Okay, well,
but
I take that back. Rambling nonsensically. That's more like us. We're not smart. How the hell could I even
There's
say
a
that?
hole. It's not quite open all the way, and then there's somebody back there.
Filter.
It's like a waterfall you have to talk through, and I don't know. That's just my idea. I don't know.
Hey, if one thing
I only see it and hear it. I don't do it.
There's one thing we're certain of in life: we are not experts. So
we have proclaimed that from the very beginning.
Very beginning, absolutely.
The very beginning of being serious, I should say.
All right, Mike. Here we better dive into some of these. I found a really interesting article.
Yeah. Keep me from going off track like that.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. The article is called "Portals Are a Key Element of Paranormal Lore." I want to kind of fly through this as quickly as we can. Origins of portals. What could cause the creation of a portal? Are various portals allowing spirits to move back and forth? Various theories can explain what can create a portal. One such theory is the stigma theory. The stigma theory states that events charged with trauma, death through conflict, murder, or suicide, so on, have strong emotional repercussions and can leave a dark imprint on a location. Mike, Debbie was killed on that location.
Right. Yeah. Violently. I mean, a garage door falling on her.
Just tragic.
And the little kid that was with her and witnessed this is still living in that town today and is still traumatized by it. At least the last time that we had heard.
Right.
The
last time I had talked to him was, oh my gosh, that was probably 15 years ago now or something. He was talking about this tragedy, and he was saying that he was having he'd still have nightmares, and he'd still have like kind of visitations in his dreams. And how can you blame him? Really? I mean,
it'd be horrifying. Your life couldn't be the same. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, I mean, that definitely adds the stigma theory as a possibility for what was going on at that.
Absolutely.
At that house. Definite trauma, emotional distress.
Oh, and the emotion of the family staying there after and living there, and that continuing to be going on in the house with them living there.
Yep, exactly.
And then that box that I found up in the attic that I've talked about before, I don't know for sure, but to me, there was like dried blood on that box, like splattered on it. And there was little girl clothes in there that were just, if that would have been from that incident, which I can't think of why that stuff would be up there or why they would keep the clothes. But, some families or mothers can't get rid of some things or whatever because it's attached to their child that they lost. I mean, if that is from that event, just think of the energy that's there with that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And it's, as you said, something, if a parent losing a child in such a tragic manner, I think it wouldn't be uncommon for them to want to hold on to specific items, even if it maybe perhaps was, what Debbie had on at the time. I mean, we're purely speculating. We don't know.
Exactly. And I had that box down in the living room for like maybe a week, and I was kind of looking at everything in there, and I swear to God, it was from some kind of a bad scene, the way that the clothes in the box were. But after I got into that week and it was sitting there, I was like, I've got to get these back up in the attic because I can't stand them being down here anymore.
Yeah.
Just getting too, freaky of a vibe from them. So they had to go.
Oh, I don't blame you. Don't blame
you. I'm sure they're still up there in the attic right now.
Is Mary tap dancing in the background, or is that a dog?
No, that's the dogs
tap
dancing.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, they are good buddies. They are playing all the time.
As listeners probably know, the example they get here is the Bob Mackey Music World. Bob Mackey's Music World, where it was a former slaughterhouse where thousands of animals were killed, and the waste was washed into the Licking River, and that could have generated negative energy. Combine that with the alleged murders that occurred on location, could definitely potentially create a portal via the stigma, not via, but as stated by the stigma theory. This can work in correlation also with the stone tape theory. I know Mike and I are familiar with that one as well, which states that ghosts and hauntings created by traumatic events could be recorded into rocks and earth like a battery. They can be accessed and replayed under the right conditions. Charles Babbage, a 19th century polymath who advanced his place memory theory, speculated that even spoken words would remain in the air despite becoming inaudible. Some people, perhaps more sensitive people, would still be able to access those words through their senses. That's really interesting. I like that example. Does that kind of take the paranormal aspect out of it, though?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think so? That's just like the actual audio is just still up in the air. There's really nothing paranormal about it. It's a sense that people made.
It's still an extremely interesting theory. I mean, just that alone is still creepy. It's not like you're getting any paranormal, event out of it or anything. But just the fact that can happen, it's more interesting and like, ooh, that is really something. If that's real, going that way instead of like, oh, that's really kind of a ghost thing that's creeping me out. Yeah. If it's just a voice that can be recorded or stays there because of the energy of it, I mean, that's still pretty fascinating.
Do you think that humans can create a portal on their own? somehow.
Let's see. Oh, I
Like, do you think
Wow,
that
if you
Zach
have-
Bagans could create a portal if he tried hard enough? You know?
no, Zach couldn't. He wouldn't be able to punch himself through the air to get in through a portal. But I think Chip Coffee could, though, probably.
Well, or like maybe like maybe there's a place where it's just loads and loads of, well, for lack of a better term, demonic rituals have been relived over and over and over. People have been sacrificed or whatever, what have you, by doing this consistently over the years. Human beings, not even really, not trying to, but could that negative energy that they are putting out there create?
There's so much that's built up, and it's got to create something. It's got to, if it doesn't disperse through the ether or whatever you want to call it. I mean, if it's just building up in that room or wherever all this stuff was going, something's got to happen with it. Where,
yeah. No,
okay.
That's fine.
I'm talking through Diet Coke, coming back up.
He's filtering his own
its
voice.
Gaseous form.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a very big possibility about like creating a portal. And I'm sure there's demonic people, believers, whatever, that they probably got an incantation for opening up portals. Well, they obviously they do. They want to bring whatever through, and
do you think
they'll open one?
I don't buy into this one because I think, well, longtime listeners know how I feel about Ouija boards. But
that was just going through my mind, actually.
There
Ouija
are
board.
people out there who totally buy into the possibility that a Ouija board session can create a portal.
Absolutely.
I mean, we hear stories about that all the time. That's why people are terrified of using Ouijas, because they think they're going to summon something that wasn't there.
Wasn't that kind of the beginning of the original true story of The Exorcist? Had to do with a Ouija board, I believe. Didn't it?
I don't think so. But you might make. I'm drawing an absolute blank on that.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies too. I don't.
Yeah, I thought I may have heard that, but I could be totally wrong. Like,
listeners, help us out. Correct us here. I don't know. I can't pull it off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
I can't pull a lot of things off the top of my head, especially that.
Especially your hat.
Especially my hat. Yeah, it's glued. I actually have that stapled on top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah. I use double-sided tape for my scally.
There you go. That works too. What do you think about the idea or the potential of portals being connected, Mike? I ask you that because this article puts forth the question, could they be connected? In other words, could spirits use portals to move from one location to another and therefore haunt another location?
Well, maybe that's exactly how they get around.
Oh.
I mean, they aren't just like, well, let's see. Let's call an Uber and get over to the next haunting.
Stick your thumb out there. We need to pick up a cab.
Better start floating. I got a long way to go.
Right.
Is it? Can they just pop from one place to another? Can they just think themselves from one place to another? What power do they have as a interdimensional being or a spectral being? I mean,
well, see, that's just the thing, because again, we're thinking in terms of the physical world that we're in right now.
Right. And it's and theirs is totally different.
Absolutely. So there is no such thing as, walls, no such thing as, buildings.
Yeah.
That's why I love hearing, the pseudo skeptics out there saying like, why would a ghost be just trapped in a house? Can't they walk through the walls? And it's like, oh gosh, just go away.
Well, if we had all the answers,
yeah, we
would share them, but
would we, Mike?
I think so. But this is where Michio Kaku, with the physics of things,
Mike,
he could explain. He could explain this stuff.
Hold on, you didn't notice this, but your microphone cut out right at the perfect time, and all that we heard was Mikio cock, and it was perfect.
There's something to save on that file of
Oh, yeah.
For the blooper
That's
reel.
right, the blooper reel, the outtake reel.
Yeah, the outtake reel. Although we'll probably leave this one in.
Yeah, I'm not editing that one out. No, that was just too good.
Yeah, but yeah, who knows? I mean, it's a whole different ball game over there. I mean, I think they don't even need to have a thought. They don't have a brain to have a thought. They have everything that's there that just works without the hard material. It's I don't think there's anything that would stop them unless there is something that is trapping them in one certain place, which we hear of that does happen.
Well, if we believe in such thing as intelligent hauntings, in which we do, I mean, wouldn't that kind of lend to the idea that this intelligent force still has free will? It still has the ability
absolutely
to not only communicate but make decisions, and so on and so forth. And so, are they choosing to be there? Do they want to move on? Is another question.
Right. Well, a comparison into our physical world again, which probably doesn't make too much sense if you think about it, but we have free will. We were given free will from our beginning, our time of beginning. We go to jail. That free will is cut off to a large degree. You're stuck. You can't go anywhere. Maybe free will might work that way on the other side. Something that keeps you from having that free will, like the trauma or the not knowing you've died or whatever.
Another great point. Mike, you're on fire tonight. You're doing.
That roof is on fire.
Well, now you just blew it. Now you ruined it right there.
No, I'm just putting out what I truly feel that could be a possibility.
Igor, do you think Mike is on fire?
No.
Okay. How about you, Christopher Walken? Do you think listeners will?
I don't know.
Do you think? No, I'm talking to Chris. Chris, do you think listeners will like this episode?
I don't know.
See, it's not funny because you said it already.
Yeah, I screwed that one.
Mike screwed that one up.
And it certainly wasn't funny when I said it. So.
Well, and then another EVP that I caught immediately afterwards was the obvious. Just, Mike's having a good time. He goes in and out of dimensions all the time. I don't know how the hell you do it, but it's pretty impressive.
Just don't put my fart on there again.
Yeah, I was looking for that and I couldn't find the damn thing.
That's too good. That's too good not to use.
Oh no, it's there. I got it, but it was, I don't know.
I still think that's demonic. That's not me. That's a demon running all through me.
Now, are you sure that you didn't have like a whoopee cushion that you're playing a joke on everybody? Because that thing was just atrocious sounding. But I don't know. It's pretty good.
You call it atrocious. I call it a proud moment.
Yeah, and healthy for you because
yeah.
You hold those things in.
Well, I don't know.
That's not very good. That's
well, you're the one that said, "Well, it doesn't smell that bad."
Well, that's
but that was
true.
about something different. Though.
Maybe that's why I was crabby later on in that clip. Because later on in that same clip, you're like talking to me, and I'm like just all snippy and like, I was like, "What the hell's wrong with me?"
Why? Because of me and my gaseous flatulence.
Anyways, we digress. Another theory, Mike. That
yes,
theory towards the possibility of portals is the ley line theory.
Yes, I love that.
For those who may not know, and our listeners are smart folks, so I'm sure they know. But
a lot smarter than we are.
Yeah, they are.
We learn from them after we make screw ups in an episode.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Yeah.
Hey, and that's okay.
That's proof that they're listening, and proof that they care. So
that's right.
The theory of ley lines is that these lines connect energy points throughout the globe and represent natural energy. The knowledge dates back to ancient civilizations such as the Mayans, the Incas, and the Egyptians. These civilizations would erect buildings on these lines to harvest some of this natural energies. Ley lines are supposed to work as superconductors for paranormal activity, amplifying the available energy for spirits to draw on. However, as skeptical paranormal investigators, we always advance several theories to avoid assuming that everything is inexplicable. We have to counter with the fact that you can always draw a line between any 2 points on the map, and that does not necessarily mean there's any connection between them. But we have to get that, point of view out there, only to be fair. You were saying that you'd love the idea of ley lines, Mike.
I think there's just so much that goes with them. I mean, there's the work that it took to put them together. I mean, when technology wasn't around to be moving these things, and just the work alone and the knowledge of where they should go, you know what I mean? I'm kind of drawing a blank here.
No, I think it's kind of a loaded question. There's too much to ignore there. There is too much to just like kind of push aside and go, mere coincidences, boys and girls, mere coincidences. I don't know if I believe in coincidences anyways.
No.
There's just too much stuff that's going on. And
coincidence is a word that we had to, as a species, had to come up with to explain things that
just to make us feel better.
That just don't completely make sense to us. That, well, why would that happen? No, it's just a coincidence.
Well, how much of a coincidence, I'm doing this air quotes, how much of a coincidence is it, again, going back to that 18-minute It's Debbie clip, you and another gal who was my ex-significant at the time were talking about the Sally house in that clip 16 years ago.
That's right. And then this came up.
And then we go to the Sally house. You and I literally went there over a month ago now. And then now this new EVP is captured.
Yeah.
Coincidence? Perhaps. But I don't know. It's very interesting when all this is connected,
Yeah.
The idea of multiverses. I know we've talked about this several times. Portals have been theorized as entries to the multiverse. If you follow this theory, spirits coming through these portals would not be spirits of the deceased, but a version of people from another multiverse. That's kind of what I asked you, if you thought that maybe that old man in your house, was he just a version of another person from another multiverse? Or was it the spirit?
I think that would be a completely different portal. I mean, there's, take the first hallway to the left, and then there's the other one. You take the next hallway to the right, and that's the difference between spirit portal and a dimensional portal.
Take the elevator to the right, the elevator to the left. Which one do I want today?
Yes. I don't know.
Now, this is interesting, too, because guess where we're planning on going next, Mike? The Villisca Axe Murders house.
Yeah, I'm getting a little frightened about that one.
It's mentioned here, too, because they say it's an interesting idea to ponder, as more often with the paranormal community than not, we tie spirits to specific locations. An example of this would be the spirits of the Trans-Allegheny Asylum patients or the Moore family at the Villisca Axe Murders house. So, another coincidence right there, right, Mike? Why you're getting? Are you serious? Were you joking? Or are you serious about you're feeling nervous about going to the Villisca house now?
Well, I'm not. Well, it's like I've said before. I think that this is going to make the Sally house look like a kindergarten room. I believe. And then you did chat just a little bit, or converse a little bit with our friend Dustin Perry.
I did.
He had some different words to say about that than he did the Sally house.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. To paraphrase, keep it really short. He initially said that he thought, for the most part, the Sally house was kind of a hoax, for lack of a better term. But he did say, obviously we talked about that really frightening experience that he had there the second night they were there down in the basement. That would have
been an awesome, terrifying thing to go through.
So it's like basically nothing happened except that, which was a pretty big deal. But immediately, right when he, at the very beginning of his reply, when I said we were going to the Villisca house, he says that place is active. And then he says, I honestly still have problem. I'm forgetting exactly what he said, but he said he still has some pretty nasty negative feelings about that place. That was hard for him to shake.
Yeah. And
he's like the most positive man on planet Earth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and like he had said, like just the fact of what actually is documented as happening there.
Yes.
I mean, you go in there like just knowing that there's there's gonna be some negative energy there, just from that.
Oh, yes, you would think you would if you believe in the paranormal, you believe in this concept. You would have to think that Villisca house is just loaded. It's just the imprints of
energy. Yeah, and everybody that we've seen on TV that has gone there, like the Baggins group and Amy and Adam, and I mean, it's like
kindred spirits.
They got the same idea and the feeling that it was the murderer that's there, that they are actually being in contact with, which is kind of a scary thought as well.
It's another scary thought, absolutely.
And so yeah, and Chip, same thing. He caught up on that right away when he was there.
Yeah, he's like saying, I'm getting the vibe. He's like, he's trying to boss me around basically, and I'm not having any of it. You know how Chip gets a little sassy. He's not about ready.
Depends on what scarf he's wearing for the day that he gets really sassy sometimes. Maybe, but and I'm not making fun.
No, oh my gosh, we love Chip. He was.
I wish I had one of his scarves that I could kind of hang in my my podcast.
Oh, that'd be great. Here. That'd be great. Well, you do have that autographed photo from him. So.
Yes, well, and he stares at me during every episode.
He does.
You kind of make a shrine on the wall with his photo and have the scarf kind of draped over it, That
would be great. Mike, he does sell scarves. You can go buy.
Does he really?
Absolutely, he does. You can buy stuff.
I never knew that. How did I not know that? I'm going to check into that.
Go to his website, man. He sells several of his own stylized scarves. So
if he has one with his face on them all over, little chip faces all over.
Oh, that'd be adorable. He probably maybe he has some Chip coffee like Christmas tree ornaments or something like that too. Yeah. Put Chip on top of your Christmas tree. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll check that out when I start making a paycheck again.
So as this article concludes, going back to the multiverse theory, this author says, it would be more intriguing. Well, not more. He ends that in regards to the idea of spirits coming through these portals as not spirits of the deceased, but a version of people from another multiverse. He goes on to say, however, it would be intriguing if these spirits could move around as they please and actually leave a location. We may wonder if the trauma of the death connects them involuntarily to the location. So, again, that's if Debbie is at that house, or was at that house, I hope to God that she wasn't trapped, involuntarily there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that word again, but it just seems.
I was thinking about her while we were there, but as far as her actually being there, not much.
Okay, explain that. What do you mean?
You mean Debbie?
Yeah, explain that a little bit more. So
being at the Sally house.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about your old house. I am sorry about that one.
Did you say Sally house or did I totally?
I think I didn't say anything about the Sally house there.
Okay, see, I wasn't listening to you.
No, you weren't, which Mike does quite often. But that's why
Debbie was definitely at my house.
Maybe that's why we work so well as co-hosts together, Mike, because we don't listen to each other.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, and actually, Mary's got the TV on, but it's silenced, but it's showing the weather right now, and I just like, oh my God, what else are we getting? Because we are supposed to get more.
Yeah, I believe it. I know. So are we. But I don't think we're supposed to get hit until tomorrow, but maybe that's coming in later tonight now. So
yeah.
I don't know. So, okay, Mike, we better wrap this up.
Yeah.
Man, that flew by. Well, I hope we kind of made an interesting episode here about the idea of portals to the paranormal. I wanted to talk about that because of that discovery of this just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing to me. Mike, do you think I'm overreacting to this?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, the validation that you have and are feeling is well worth being very excited about.
That voice, the tone are identical. Yeah. And there is no doubt that was not me this time, which eliminates any possibility that was me for the press play EVP.
Yeah. And it definitely wasn't anybody else. And if it would have been me, you would have heard it right clear, like my face was right there in the microphone.
Because you're talking when that goes.
Exactly.
It's speaking over you.
Yep.
And it wasn't Pam, it wasn't Carrie. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You know, it's unfortunate that people have to take our words for it.
Right.
All this, but that's all we have, and that's what it was.
That's all we have, and that happens a lot. But you know, it's weird though, because along with this new EVP stuff and you know, rethinking the press play, it's really weird. But you know, okay, I know you were standing in front of the sink in that area. I was kind of off to your left, towards between the counter and the living room, and the voices of press play and the new one now, for some reason, I feel, and it's like I know that it originally came from over by where the refrigerator was. The refrigerator that was by the
That's the
hallway
vibe.
that goes into the bathroom.
That's the vibe that I got when I was listening to that. When this
Really?
this what's
'Cause
that vibe? The what? Ooh, you just got like a big old orb fly past you.
That was
right
a
there.
little fly or
Oh,
something.
okay. I lost my train of thought now. No, that was the vibe that I got listening to.
So you and I are getting this sensation, this feeling, this vibe of, we know where that ghost or spirit was standing when it said that.
Yeah, it's definitely away from you. It's it's closer to me.
Yep.
I'm talking about this latest one, the what's that, where it's repeating what I just said basically. And it
which is
I
also
agree. It's
close by where I feel that the portal is.
Right, exactly. That's where we were all standing when we got those a multitude of those EVPs, Mike. There's that one where the same type of voice, it doesn't say any words, but at one point it tries to pop in over, it was either you talking or Carrie talking, but it's obviously someone trying to pop in and say something. You hear like this female voice trying to peep in. And then later on, you hear Mike and Carrie walking into another room. You were showing her something. I can't remember what it was.
I don't want to talk about that.
That's true. Yeah. That caused a lot of problems back in the day.
That's a joke.
But then you hear that very playful, like, I don't want to say it's a moan, but it's something going like, ooh, hoo, hoo, something like that.
Yeah, it's just part of the mocking. That the whole thing was mocking. Everything that entity was putting out was like, I'm going to mess with Patrick.
Mike, I just had a bizarre idea that gave me chills.
Okay.
I don't think it's true. But what about the idea? What about this as a possibility? That whoever said it's Debbie was mocking us because we knew of the story that was going on, what happened at that house, and they were, I'm getting kind of chills thinking this would definitely add to the malicious nature. Like they're mocking the tragedy by saying, it's Debbie. It has to be Debbie. You ever got that vibe? That just popped in my head right now.
That's a good point, though.
I don't believe that, but just thinking about how every other thing we picked up was very, again, here's that word, the word of the day, boys and girls, mocking.
Yeah, right.
But the it's Debbie thing has always come through very clear. I've never had any feeling about that as being mocking. But what if it was? That's another.
Yeah,
one. I don't know.
And it's obviously. I mean, I don't even need to say this, but an entity that knows the Debbie story. Did it live through that?
Right.
Or is it just going by what we have always talked about knowing about?
Mm-hmm.
Getting it? Did it get the information from us? Or, chances are that it could have been, another, I don't know. I don't want to say a brother or something that may have, I don't know. I don't know about the rest of her family or where they're at right now, but
think about that as a possibility, Mike. People in here's a word for you, a phrase, real life people who don't believe, they have a good time mocking maybe people like you and I who believe. Can you imagine ghosts or energies from another dimension mocking us for believing in ghosts and energies from the other dimension?
Well, it could be. Maybe it's a ghost that doesn't know that they're dead and they think that they're right there with us and they don't even know about it. They just, all they know is that or feel that they're alive and they're still not believing.
See, I just love this,
Mike. Pretty deep.
This is something this is 16 years old, darn near 17 years old, and we're still discovering new things and we're still having new thoughts about this EVP clip.
And
Shit.
so many new things all at once, all just right now. Why,
Do you have a copy of that 18-minute clip, Mike? Do you want me to email you that?
Oh, I would love that.
I'll send
absolutely.
I'll email that to you later tonight. And
Yeah,
put on your
would
headphones and take a listen
Yep.
and just it's just cool listening to it. I mean, it's
maybe we'll find more. Let's see.
Well,
let's start perusing over other things that we've done.
There's a couple bangs, Mike, when we're downstairs and you can't hear us at all and the recorder's going upstairs. There's a couple of loud bangs, but I've always thought that maybe it was like one of your cats upstairs doing something on the counters. I don't know. But it's take a listen to that. That's included on that clip. But I
don't think those cats were ever big enough at that time living there to get up on there. Well, they would have been.
And I want to make it clear.
But
and I know pseudo-skeptics probably think differently. No, Mike's cats could not speak English. So it wasn't them who were speaking
no
to
speak
us.
English.
So
they'd say that once in a while.
Maybe. But, well, Mike, thanks for making this work. My brain is kind of on fire right now.
Yeah, a lot to think about. Hey, I want to, just for one quick second, I want to bring back a little thing that we had done in the past and
please do.
Have been way overdue. We've been getting some good commentary and some good interaction with some wonderful listeners, and we haven't been acknowledging them enough.
You, my friend, and I are on the same page. Thank you so much. I thought about this the other day. We need to give some shout outs, I think.
Yeah, like Starlet from Ontario, Canada.
Absolutely. Hello.
Awesome listener, some great interaction with her, and of course I love the fact that she's from Ontario, Canada.
Yes.
Canada freak.
She's always been a awesome supporter of my artwork page, and so big time thanks. And now she's interacting with us on the Paranormally Zone podcast page.
Awesome.
So that's really awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah.
We love it. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And another one that has to be mentioned, and I don't know if we've mentioned her before, but Angela Dawn.
Thank you. Yes.
Awesome listener. Awesome interaction, and we are so pleased to hear that she enjoys what she listens to, and
we do not put her to sleep. She listens to us when she cannot sleep.
That's right.
We are not a sedative. Right. We are not a sedative, so that's good.
A sedative?
Yeah, give him a sedative. Yes, perfect, Mike. Thank you for doing that, man. Yeah, big time shout out to Angela. She discovered us by listening to Talk is Jericho on our...
Yep, she's a big wrestling fan.
Huge wrestling fan.
Her bio just says somewhere in the United States, so I don't know really where she's from, but she's a Bulls fan, so I don't know.
Well, which makes you think Chicago, Illinois.
Maybe. But yeah, and of course my wonderful niece, Rachel, she is out. We learn from her. We learn from that lady.
Yes, we do.
And we have talked to her again recently about being on the show with another guest that they can kind of interact with each other that we want to work on, and which would be awesome. And she is so excited about coming up.
I have got we need to line up times to do this because we want to put together our first listener feedback episode regarding their own personal paranormal experiences.
Yes. Cannot wait.
There's a friend of Bridget, a co-worker of Bridget's, who worked at the haunted Glensheen Mansion in Duluth for several years, and she really wants to talk about some of the weird experiences, creepy experiences, ghostly experiences she had at Glensheen. Obviously, your niece Rachel has just a lifetime of experiences that
yes, she does.
We'll only crack the surface of that one. And Alexia, shout out to Alexia, host of Titanic Talk Line. She wants to share her bizarre experience that her and several friends went through years back. I got to line up so many of these things. We got to get these all recorded, and I got to get them edited together into one big fancy episode with a ribbon wrapped around it. A paranormal ribbon.
Extravaganza.
That's going to be so fun. But guys, we're talking to all you. If you have personal paranormal experiences, if you think you saw a skinwalker or anything,
or if you saw your skinwalk, I'd like to hear about
it. Boy, that's frightening. No, send us your stories. If you want your stories shared on the Paranormally Zone, we will be more happy to do that. Shout out big time to Pandora. She joined us a year ago already. Mike, she needs to get back on the show.
Yeah. And Michael Blackthorn has some great stories.
Oh my gosh,
We need to work up with him.
Thank you. Big time shout
There's
out
been
to
other
Michael.
listeners that we have not gotten on that need to be on. So much to do.
Contact us
And-
if you want to be on the show. Reach out because we want you. So
Yeah.
that'd be great. Mike, thank you for making us work, buddy. I hope you don't get blasted too hard with too much more snow.
Oof, me too.
Man, you'll look even more pasty in all that snow down there. Right?
Oh yeah. Well, I disappear if I wore white clothes, I'd be gone.
All you see is when Mike steps outside in the blizzard is his black framed glasses. That's all you
Yes.
see.
My glasses. Then if I wear my darker colored scally,
I think I spot him. There it is.
yeah.
There's the
All you see
cardinal.
is my scally laying on the snow, and somebody picks it up, and the top of my head is there.
Good
Anyway,
Lord. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Help spread the Paranormally Zone word. Tell your friends, tell your family members to give it a shot. And again, you can check out the Patreon page and all of its awesome content for as little as $1 a month. No obligations. We'd love to see you guys there. Mike, it's been a while. I'm going to end it after you say peace out with your favorite, not long gone, definitely not forgotten soundbar. Okay? So in the meantime, what do our awesome listeners need to do?
just peace out.